Good afternoon, everybody. It's another episode of Campfire Chatter. Smitty, your host. Today's topic, when shit hits the fan, the main thing is, the most important thing is to be self-reliant. Is to be able to do things for yourself. I mean, it's great to have a group, but you need a group that is self-reliant, that each one knows what they need to do in order to survive. And there is a thing too. You can, if you've got a small clearing, you can get some hose and have like a community garden in that area, and you could plant things, not all year, but if you could put, you don't even need a greenhouse. You could build a frame and put plastic over the top of it and use that during the summer. But you want the summer rains as well, so you leave it open for that. But any high winds, you would definitely want to cover it with plastic so that the wind doesn't damage your whatever, tomato vines, whatever it is you're growing, even corn, wheat. I've seen a lot of winds. I've seen a lot of tornadoes go through and just downburst and straight winds just level a field of wheat in certain areas. So this is something you got to take all into consideration. I mean, yeah, you could prep and buy buckets of food that's freeze dried and stuff like that. That's probably good until you get going. Once you get going, and the country's trying to get back on course, and you can also find an old windmill someplace, and you could use that as a device like the Amish do to pump water. When they need water, they turn the windmill on, and it pumps the water, and they get their water. And you can also hook it on. Well, if you know how to weld, you got a gas welder or something, or propane welder, you can weld a frame, and you could put that generator at the top of that windmill and let that windmill turn that generator for you to generate current. But mind you, you'd want some 12-volt batteries. I gotta find me an old friend that still worked on the railroad, that their railroad signals for a long time, they were battery powered if they lost power. The railroad had their own power, but now they rely on power companies. So being reliant on power companies or energy companies, whatever you want to say, you definitely have to watch crossing the tracks. I hope I didn't block the voice. I forgot where I hold my finger there, but anyways, you need to take all this into consideration. How do you charge batteries? Yeah, you could do it solar powered is one way, but you might not get much light. If it snows heavy and you got heavy snow on your solar panels and you don't get them cleaned off right away, then you lose a certain amount of power if you ain't out there first thing in the morning before the light comes out. It's just things that you've got to think about and be prepared in the event that things go wrong. I mean, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when. It will happen. We will see it. China's already talking about it. Iran's talked about messing with our grid system. Although I seriously doubt it, Iran could do that. But China sure could. Russia, no, I don't think Russia can. I don't know. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Russia, but Russia outside of Moscow is just, yeah, it's pretty third world. But I was in Armenia, Russia. They had an earthquake at Christmas 1988, and we went over in January of 1989. And I'm telling you, them people are poor. They don't even have glass in their houses. They have big, thick wooden shutters over them, like the Old West was, like we had, and even we had, you know, good stuff like telegraph and whatnot. But it's just things you gotta take all this into consideration, whatever you do. And make sure that I thought I heard a tree cracking above me, and I want to make sure if I'm in here, I'm not going to be where it's going to drop on me. You know, that's never a good thing, having a tree limb come down and hit you in the head. I don't care how big it is. It can be a ½ inch around or 1/4 inch around and hit you right on top of the head. It might go in your skull. I mean, your skull's pretty thick, but pretty hard-headed, but it could happen. And when trees go, I mean, if you're standing in the woods in an area where there's a lot of dead trees and the wind starts picking up, you want to get out of there as fast as you can. Because I've seen when trees fall, they don't just go like in the movies where you see where they're going real slow. They go fast and they drop quick. So, but anyways, back on topic. You got to think about what's your specialty is, what you know how to do. I mean, you can save paper, whatever, newspaper or any kind of paper, and get a fire going. Anybody can get a fire going. But then what can you do? Can you cook? You know, you know how to strip an animal? You know, can you clean a rabbit? Can you clean a chicken? Can you do all that? And you know how to go out and pick raspberries, how to preserve apples, what not. I mean, you know, there's cherry trees. There's a lot of things you can do that people are, you know, well, most people think if you want that, you go to the store and get it. Some people don't even realize that it grows on trees, which is amazingly insane. I mean, I had a friend that lived in a big city. He lived in Indianapolis, Indiana, and he didn't even know cows existed. And one day he was riding with me on a job site, and he says, "Oh my God, they do exist." And I said, what are you talking about? He said, those black and white things over there. I said, "Those cows?" "Oh yeah, they're real. Where do you think milk comes from and everything? And your steaks and stuff." And he didn't realize that, but and then I kind of felt bad, you know. He's not an idiot. He's just naive because he goes home in the city and he watches what's on TV. I mean, that's how life is. Some people see things for the first time in their life, and they could be, well, he was 40 years old, but he never went anywhere. He just wife and 3 kids, and you know, that's all he ever done. It's barbecue with his friends on the back porch. That's it. But anyways, all right. So just remember that you got to think. You've got to be able to think of your self-value, I guess, what I'm trying to say. What you're worth to yourself. What can you do? And then when you get other people if you get a community together, a group of people together, and you have a community gathering area, then what can they put forth? Are they helping or hurting? Do they got skills that help? You know, seriously, a good skill to have is a blacksmith. So you might, if you don't know about blacksmithing, it's something always nice to take up, and silversmithing and all that, and even locksmithing. But you get all that done. Putting wood on the fire again, going out and get scraps. But that's what I do. I ain't got a saw yet. That's gonna give me a battery operated saw, but chainsaw. Anyways, it's just something to think about, and I've given you actually something to think about that you can set back and do a self-evaluation of yourself. And like me, I grew up in the country, so you know I know how to strip a steer. I know how to clean a rabbit. It's what we did when I was a kid, and that was a few decades ago. That's what we did. We didn't money. You wasn't making this big money like you make now. It made my first job, it paid $2.85 an hour. Then I got off on another job that paid more. And I went in the Ironworkers Union, and the apprenticeship that paid $7.46 an hour. That was them guys you see walking around these tall buildings, putting up these skyscrapers, or putting up steel structures for them skyscrapers, multi-story buildings. They refer to them now, I guess. We always call them skyscrapers because the tops seem like they touch the sky. But yeah, you gotta know how to take care of yourself if you get injured. What do you do if you get injured? What if you do have a community and you're out on your own and you get injured? Do you know what you need to do? You know how to dress a wound? You know how to put a splint on? You can actually take leaves, like these leaves right here, if they're good and dry, and you could put on your wound and you could set them on fire over that wound. Now it's going to stink like hell with your, if you're a man, your hair on your legs and skin, and if you're just a woman, skin on your legs. But it'll seal the wound. I found my tree. Gotta get out from underneath of it. One thing too, if you ever see, say this tree here is fallen and it's fallen to you, you don't run away from it, you run to it. Yeah, it's just breezy up there, and all this up in here is just knocking together. It's pretty green. It doesn't look like it's gonna break, but the wind starts picking up. I ain't taking a chance unless I got a hard hat on, and then I'm make me kind of cautious. But anyways, all right. Have yourself a great day. Think about what I shared with you. Feel free to leave a comment below. Hit the like button if you like the video. If you don't like the video, just move on to the next channel. You know, this all trolling somebody and stupid stuff. It's just that. It makes you look dumber than the person you're trying to say is dumb. It really does. It really does. Because you're sitting there, you're saying things, how stupid somebody is, but you're sitting there watching. So it's like, well, now who's the idiot? But anyways, all right. Okay, like I said, feel free to leave a comment. And don't look for niceties, because I call it like I see it. If I see something and it ain't right, I'm going to say something. And I don't care You know, if it hurts somebody's feelings or not. Hey, if you're sensitive, then I'm not the guy you want to be around. Like I always said, if you don't like the answer, don't ask the question. And that, have a great day.